You barely wear any clothes, so like what could possibly take up so much space?
Big shout out to the bestie who requested this episode that is actually one of the few I have never seen from beginning to end. At first when this episode was requested, I had no idea who they were talking about. And then once I saw the first couple seconds, like the intro to the episode, I was like, oh, I've seen this reveal. It is an old school OG Catfish episode that is season 3, episode 3, Antoinette and T-Lights, or Antoinette and Albert. Funny enough, this episode is actually the one that's right before the Kid Cole episode where Nev gets absolutely crazy. And he and Max get crazy in this episode for other reasons, but let's just get into the mess of it all. So of course we have Nev and Max. They begin the episode by showing us the crew and Nev making jokes about taking a big fat dump in front of his coworkers, which is definitely something.
Justin can't leave, this is his office, so even when I'm on the toilet, it gets a little uncomfortable.
It's something. But we then get an email from Antoinette, who is 21 years old and has about 15,000 Instagram followers, which I think is a really weird way to begin your catfish email. Sounds like a self-promo. But she tells us that she noticed a guy was following her named T-Lights, and he is apparently a rapper, singer, songwriter from Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh, Lord.
That's about 10 red flags just in that sentence alone, Miss Girl. She says that they text, they talk on the phone all day. However, T-Lights is always busy with music, has bad connection or his phone battery is low, and that doesn't allow him to video chat or meet up with Antoinette.
The lies! There you go, this bitch. The lies.
To me, that's about another 10 red flags. At this point, T-Lights is collecting red flags like infinity stones. Antoinette wants to know if she should continue her relationship with T-Lights or if she should move on.
Girl.
I think we all know that my verdict will almost always be, let that man go. Let him go.
Just because I'm funny don't mean I'm joking, bitch. I'm very serious right now. Stop laughing.
They hop on a Skype call with Antoinette and she immediately begins talking about how their connection is so strong and they can really trust each other even though they've never seen each other and he has never been able to prove that he is who he says he is. Okay, if we're all living in Delulu land together, then that might just make sense. Nev and Max agree to help her and they get ready to head to Dallas. Both Nev and Max say exactly what we are all thinking as soon as they get off the call.
Some very big red flags here.
Rapper. It's never a ukulele player, it's always a rapper.
Nev decides to get some quote-unquote research done on the plane, but to me it's clear he just wanted an excuse to get a closer look at Antoinette. I say this because they pause on her butt shot picture.
Oh, they're going to prison.
After seeing her pictures, Nev makes the comment that her page may not attract someone who is genuinely interested in her, and he doesn't say this next part directly, but to me it's clear that he is implying that people aren't going to be attracted to her for who she is, but rather her body, because she does show off some skin on her page. The next day, they decide to pull up on Antoinette at Redneck Heaven.
No way. That's where she works? Redneck Heaven?
Which is an interesting name. A place I most certainly would not be allowed. But the girls are dressed in minimal clothing. It's very much giving Hooters, but redneck edition, hillbilly edition. Nev makes a quote-unquote joke about Antoinette putting some clothes on.
Here, will you put something on, please? Jesus.
Yeah, I'm cold.
And I feel like I'm already getting the vibe that this episode is gonna come off very slut-shamey, and I personally don't like that at all. We're not with that over here. We don't do that over here. We then meet Lauren, Antoinette's best friend, and shockingly, Nev doesn't say anything to her about covering up, but he greets her with a big ol' smile on his face instead. I wonder why.
Cut the cameras.
Lauren tells us that they have previously tried to meet up with T-Lights, but the night before they were supposed to meet up, he started acting like a jerk. So the meetup never happened, but he reconciled things with Antoinette the next day.
You don't find that suspicious?
They pull Antoinette to the side to talk to her some more. She says that she wants to move. She hopes to move in with T-Lights and says that while they haven't said that they love each other, those feelings are there and they're very strong.
This girl is delusional.
I don't even have words because this is just pissing me off. We then hear a voicemail from him. He's just updating her on his day and she is cheesing like a big dum-dum because this is a voicemail or a voice memo, a voice note, whatever the heck it's called. He could have sent this to 50 girls.
fuck you for real.
The exact same thing, because he didn't say your name in it. But we then finally see Mr. T Lights himself, and honestly, to me, he looks like Matt Rife post-surgery, and I don't mean that as a compliment.
Oh, no.
Antoinette then shows us a very cringy music video of his, and Max is not at all messing with it. He does not like it. But at this point, to me, with the way that they're showing off the Instagrams and the music and the SoundClouds, it's giving Clout Grab episode, I'm not gonna lie to you. A poster then coincidentally pops up while they're going through the page, and it's for an upcoming T Lights show, which is about 2 days away. I feel like this just emphasizes what I said literally 10 seconds ago. So of course, Nev and Max are like, we gotta go.
Yeah, I
Where
know.
we gotta go.
I noticed that.
We should go.
I know.
And Antoinette says that he's been talking to her about going. Editing Jada, run the clip. It's giving Clout Grab episode, I'm not gonna lie to you. Antoinette says that she wants the show's help because she knows it's dangerous to go by herself, but she doesn't directly say that she's ready for bad news, so she is very delusional. But the guys head out and the car debrief is not good, so we'll just move on from that. So the next day, we get to investigating in their hotel room, which is very OG Catfish. They used to just investigate anywhere, anytime, but now it's usually in a cute cafe or restaurant of some sort, and I personally just like that because I feel like it switches up the scenery a little bit. But they begin by looking at T Light's Twitter, where we find out that his real name is Albert, and I just want to know how we got from Albert to T Lights. What's the story here? We then head to the Instagram page for the band and we watch a video there where they deduce that his voice sounds a lot like the voicemail he supposedly left for Antoinette. We then search the phone number and we see that it is attached to someone named Carmen Esse, who is about 55 to 59 years old, and we see that there's a relative named Joseph, and then we quickly find out that Joseph is Albert's brother and Carmen is their mom. So it's looking like a legit family tree so far, but it is Catfish, so you don't know what is about to happen. They decide to give Joseph a call and it goes right to voicemail, but it's unclear whether they actually left a voicemail or not. But I will say Joseph's voice sounds a lot like Albert's voice, so that could be an interesting and very disturbing plot twist right there.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Nev and Max then find the 20s manager, and I'm not sure if I've mentioned this yet, but the 20s is the name of Albert's band, his band that does not make good music. I don't know if they're still making music, but at the time, the music was not good to me. But they give Luke, the manager, a call, and Nev is like, hey, I'm from Catfish and I need your help. Nev tells him the number that they have for Albert, and Luke says that that is not Albert's number. And it seems like he knows whose phone number it is, but he says that he can't give out anyone's information.
No, it's a private number.
You don't happen to know whose phone number that is, do you?
I can't give out their information.
He also says that he has never heard of Antoinette, so it's not looking good for our girl in this moment. Not looking very good at all. Luke just basically says that girls hit on Albert all of the time, and his older married brother Joseph helps Albert run his Instagram and will sometimes respond to those girls in his DMs.
Okay.
What the hell? Nev, in my opinion, gets a little bit too excited when Luke says that.
Yeah, I actually get confused sometimes. If I ever talk to them on the phone, their voices are definitely alike.
They thank him for his time and then they hop off the call. Later that same day, we are watching Nev and Max watching a clip of Antoinette twerking, or in my opinion, attempting to twerk, which is so off-putting to me. Not her posting this, whatever, post what you want to post, it's your body, your life, your choice, right? But it's off-putting to me because nobody has told us how old she is at this point. I'm not sure if we will ever find out. I just feel like, I don't know, Nev and Max watching that and then filming that and then putting it on the show is just, I don't know, it makes me feel really weird and feel very icky because I don't think that what she's posting has anything to do with her being catfished or a potentially married man lusting after her, cheating on his wife by catfishing her and posing as his younger brother. They're acting as if Antoinette being catfished is her fault because of her choice in posts, the very same posts that they themselves are watching over and going back to find more scandalous posts of hers through a very judgmental lens, which is definitely something. I will say it's definitely something.
We listen and we judge.
But they head over to her house to fill her in on the investigation. Her dad is home, and I'm going to keep a picture of her dad on the screen because I know some of y'all thirst real heavily over a little dad action, okay? I got you, don't worry. Dominic, her dad, tells us that he is concerned because he has issues with her social media behavior, and now all of a sudden she has met someone off of that same social media that he is concerned about. This to me is an extremely fair statement coming from a parent, and I can understand where he is coming from. To me, This approach is much better than Nev and Max's approach of shaming and low-key slut-shaming her for her posts. It's more genuine, and it's clearly coming from a place of love and wanting what is best for her.
As she progresses in life, eventually have a career, sometimes those things can come back around and haunt you.
Rather than a place of judgment like what Nev and Max are doing. Antoinette then says that she has listened to her dad and his advice about being mindful of what she posts as it may affect her future. But Max is too quick when he says this without hesitation.
So we're seeing the clean version?
Nev then interjects and asks her why there is a video of her shaking her ass cheeks right in front of the camera. Sir, what?
Why is there a video of you shaking your ass cheek?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
If I were her dad, I would be so uncomfortable with this conversation and so uncomfortable with knowing that the two grown men who host this show and the rest of the crew standing right in front of me has seen my daughter shake her goodies online and they're now shaming her for it. Antoinette says that those videos were just her and her friends dancing and do what they wanted to do for fun, and that video has absolutely nothing to do with who she is, basically the quality of her character. Nev then tries to act like he's concerned by reiterating what her dad literally just said.
The concern that I would have is that, a year or two from now, you might go for a job application somewhere, and they might search your name.
When before they were talking about her quote unquote questionable social media posts, they never voiced it as a concern for her. They just made it seem like, well, if this guy really wants her for her body, then it's because of what she posts. If people are objectifying her, then it's what she posts. Why would she post this video of her shaking her ass cheeks? Meanwhile, her dad is like, I just want what's best for you. So then Nev kind of adopted that after hearing what her dad said to kind of make it seem less weird that they're staring at this young girl shaking her ass cheeks on the show. Dominic then thanks the guys for taking care of her and making sure that she's all right if they do eventually travel to meet T-Lights, or I'm just going to call him Albert because fuck is T-Lights? Your mama didn't give you that name. That's a horrible rap name. The only T I acknowledge is T-Pain, okay? T-Lights, who the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that?
Then they finally sit down to tell Antoinette the tea. When they're telling her everything, she doesn't have much to say, but she just has this creepy smile on her face when she says that if it's not Albert, she has no idea who it could be. And I think this is just her being uncomfortable, or it could be because this is a fake episode on her part, but we don't really know yet. When Nev and Max tell her it could possibly be married Joseph, Antoinette is just in denial about it and doesn't really have anything else to add. They decide that they're just gonna pop up on Albert at his show without any heads up because they don't want to give anyone an opportunity to start making shit up or just mixing the stories up, making sure everyone's on the same page with the lies, basically. So the next day, they go back to pick Antoinette up and head out, and Max makes this very inappropriate and disgusting comment.
You barely wear any clothes, so like what could possibly take up so much space?
It was so unnecessary, and like I said before, just judgmental and very slut-shamey. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh, well, it was a different time. I don't know why it would ever be acceptable to shame a young woman for what she posts online when she didn't bring that up to you as a concern. That was never a concern. You brought that up as a concern and a weird storyline in the mix of all of this. And then you're gonna say things like this, like, oh, you don't even wear clothes. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I wish you nothing but the worst. I'm not healed. I'm simply contained. I need you to understand that.
I think this also just frustrates me because they've had men posting pictures like this, what they would deem provocative, scandalous, but they would never say that to a man, but they're gonna say it to Antoinette.
Side eye.
I don't like it. But once they're in the car on the way to the airport, Antoinette makes it very clear that she is really nervous, which is more than understandable if all of this is in fact real. She also could be nervous because she knows it's not real and she might be caught soon. So we'll just have to stay tuned to find out. So later that night, they pick up Antoinette and they head out to the bar that Albert is supposed to be at. They decide to just be there and watch the show in the back, but confront him after the show is over. And they see that there's a line around the block, like people who want to get in real bad. They walk into the club while filming, which isn't obvious, and it doesn't draw attention to them at all, whatsoever. If they were trying to fly under the radar, they very clearly failed, and this makes me believe that they were not, in fact, actually trying to fly under the radar. But the 20s then come on stage, and we see Matt Rife Jr. Antoinette says that he looks the same, and she's attracted to him, but she's, in fact, still stressed out. The show ends and then we go to try and find Albert, and once he's spotted, Nev approaches him while Max and Antoinette hang back. We wait in overly dramatic suspense, then Nev walks back to give us an update. Albert makes it very clear that he is the one who has been talking to Antoinette. She's very giddy, she's very excited. They have a very awkward hug.
I don't think I need to introduce her.
Of course.
This is Antoinette.
And I just think that this situation is so weird. Like, their conversation is very surface level, it's very weird. They're not really talking about anything specific, and to me it just seems like Albert really wanted to be hyped up about his performance. Again, making it about his music. Joseph, the brother, is there, and he weirdly says that Antoinette is a beautiful girl when Nev brings up the fact that they were suspicious that Joseph was potentially the catfish.
Maybe
she's a beautiful girl.
No, but
You're making it weird. But Antoinette and Albert are then talking about her socials, and Albert says that Antoinette is a beautiful girl who doesn't need to be ratchet and post all of that stuff.
You're gorgeous. Like, you don't have to be like a ratchet girl who's like gonna post like all that stuff.
Now, Albert, what do you mean by this? Who are the ratchet girls you think should be posting like this?
Quickly.
Tell us, please. I'm sure the audience would love to hear it. Tell us what the fuck that means. They agree to all meet back up the next day and they go their separate ways. The next day, when they go to the recording studio, which is in someone's house, Antoinette is in the booth with Albert, and it's just all so cringe. Like, so cringe. It just is making me so uncomfortable. Albert then plays a song that he wrote for Antoinette in front of everyone, and again, it's just so cringe and so awkward. Like,
It makes me weak. When I'm alone, it's hard to speak.
Everybody's so creative. See how different that looks?
I don't like it. Antoinette says that she doesn't want to leave, but they both seem to be on the same page that they don't know how this relationship would work because they're in different places. They communicate this in separate interviews, like Antoinette's talking to, I believe it's Max. One of the hosts is talking to each of them and they basically say the same thing. Feels a little bit rehearsed. Nev and Max then leave Albert and Antoinette quote unquote alone, but the cameras are still there, so they're not really alone. And if you took a shot every time one of them said like, you'd be drunker than a skunk.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh,
Like, it's even better now. Like, you know.
way better.
In our 1 month update, Antoinette says that they aren't going to say that they're dating because they haven't seen each other enough in person. Max then brings up her Instagramming habits, which made me roll my eyes so hard. If this girl wants to show her booty cheek on the gram, why do you care?
Quickly.
She says that she doesn't post provocative stuff like she used to anymore. And she also says that this is weird to me, I don't know why she told this lie, but she says that when her and Albert hung out, they didn't kiss, but they had a kiss on camera, so. Albert takes the time to promote his music, of course, and he says that he and Antoinette are just really good, close friends. We then find out that they allegedly, mutually decided not to pursue a romantic relationship, but they stay in contact, and Antoinette already has a different boyfriend.
What?
And that's the end of the episode.
Y'all are very opinionated today. Oh my God.
Something is definitely off here, and I stand by my earlier statement that it's absolutely giving staged episode, not necessarily by the show, but staged by Antoinette and Albert to promote Antoinette's Instagram and promote Albert's music career. I believe she had this boyfriend, this man on the back burner the whole time. I don't think that this is a relationship that just came out of nowhere. I didn't like Nev and Max's blaming and shaming her for her posts when that literally had nothing to do with anything. I don't like the way that they tried to feign like it was being concerned rather than they were just kind of disgusted and appalled by her posting that stuff.
Okay.
Which is weird to me because now in recent Catfish episodes, Nev will go out of his way to look at people's OnlyFans if he can. So, I don't know. I don't know. Just a little bit weird to me. But besties, make sure to let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comments below. Do you think it was fake? Do you think it was staged? How do you feel about the way Nev and Max handled this whole situation? Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload. If there's another episode, another show, another series you'd like me to cover, make sure to drop it down in the comments, or you can send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you. Someone posted their a overall recap of what they watch on YouTube, and I was second on their list. Shout out to you, bestie. That actually made me really happy to see. And the only person I was behind was Adam McIntyre, Mother Mucker. okay? And that man, he'd be cranking out those posts every single day. So it's a huge honor to be on that list with the other creators and to only be behind Adam. Like, what? Made me so excited. But I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for being here. Bye.